Welcome to the relationship theory, everyone. Here we take thoughts in, we break them down, we build them up, and we play them out. Today, not coincidentally, I am in a Chick-fil-A, and the topic is going to be about God. I've touched on this before. I've talked about this topic, but I didn't come directly at it from the topic of God. What I was talking about then was what it's like to be a human. What does it mean to be a human? And back then I described being a God or what God was as something that loves you more than it loves itself, which supposes that it has more than enough to provide for you and yet not take away from itself. Okay. All right, as Neville Goddard would say. But today I actually wanted to, before we reach 100 episodes, that's insane, I definitely wanted to hot drop in one of the most important finds, one of the biggest finds, one of the most personally held ideals and beliefs about God that I possibly can offer anybody before we move on. So, God. Okay, so I'm going to be honest from the very beginning of this video that at first God pissed me off. The very idea of God pissed me off. Not because of God himself, not because of God itself, whatever. God itself wasn't what pissed me off. It was people's inability to relate to me when they were discussing God. That bothered the crap out of me. It really did. Because I want to know, hey, I'm a human, okay? You're a human, okay? You have ideas? Okay, I have ideas. Okay, so if you want to talk to me about God, why don't you give me your human concept, your human understanding of where you're coming from when you're talking about God? And then maybe pass along some of what allowed you to understand God the way that you do to me, and let me address what I think God is for myself. That's where I would come from with it. But the problem was, no one did that. It seemed very aggressive, and as a matter of fact, one of the things I did share in the vlogs was about the idea that whenever people refer to God or they mention God, and I detect it all the time, they have this ferocity, this groundbreaking surge of aggression that always means do not summon the part of me that is unwilling to bow to anyone, including you, especially you, for invoking this power within me. As a matter of fact, invoking this power within me will induce me to punish you. That's where people would come from. So I had problems with God. But here, today, I am here to offer my understanding of God. I am here to offer my understanding as far as the way that I look at things. And this is how I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to start with my definition. My definition of God means, very simply, the light beyond darkness. Now, it means the light beyond darkness. What I refer to as light, though, I look at elements as if they were alive, but they also address a particular state of mind when it comes to a human looking at a thing. So when I think of light, I think of information and heat and energy and emotion. That's what I'm really thinking about when I hear the word light. That's where I'm coming from. So when I say light beyond darkness, I'm referring to energy, information, heat, a life, a substance, a continual flow and a fluidity of a state of mind beyond that which is unknown, which means that far across the expanse of anything you could possibly be unable to know, or that is unknown to you, is a dimension of light in which all of those things are known. And even further beyond that, where it is completely understood. That is the light beyond darkness that I'm referring to, but also that would be God. But so check this out though. What I'm referring to, what I'm thinking about when it comes to the darkness is anything that you cannot, with your human eye or your mind's eye, perceive at the very moment. There are things like darkness, shadow, mystery. All of these things preside in the human sense of what it means to either know something or not know something, or know something in part, or not know the full story. However you frame it, there is that shadowy darkness aspect of knowledge. And to me, I still consider it light. It's just light that it's not as bright as it can possibly be, or if there is light, it's pointed in a direction where your focus is on the darkness. So you only understand what the light offers you against an object, reflected off of something, and that's how you perceive darkness. What light reflects itself off of to produce darkness. And then it's just your focus on darkness that makes you look at darkness and be like, well, I don't know what it is. Yeah, because the light looking at the thing is what's causing you to see darkness, or at least to know that you are in darkness. Otherwise, if the light was directly where you were, you would know where you were. You would understand the room that you were in. So anyway, that's just a bit in my head. That's the logic, that's the imagery, that's the metaphor, that's the simile, that's the allegory that I'm bringing along when I think about darkness, and how there is light beyond darkness, and how that light beyond darkness is where God is. Here's the final step of this logic when I'm talking about God though, because you're gonna see at the end of this that God is you. You're gonna see this. So, like I said before, most of darkness is really just what you don't know yet, right? And if you say that you know anything, you understand it to be fully enlightened, right? It's just like if you're in a completely bright room and there's no way for a shadow to produce itself under what's in the room, well then the room is full of light, right? And again, when I'm using the word light, I'm only really referring to information, energy, life, heat. You could even say fire, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's really just information. That's all I'm saying. So, like I said, if shadow is just what's unknown, then darkness and shadow would really just be information that isn't known, right? There's a lot of things in your human sense when you walk around from day to day that you don't know. But there are also things that you know very well. The things that you know very well, you instinctively act upon, you intuitively act upon. You don't think about it. You don't reflect on it and miser over it all day. You just do, because it's already known. It is known. It's not a conversation, right? So when it comes to the light beyond darkness, it only makes sense to understand that where you are right now, anything that is fully acknowledged to you would be God itself. That would be information, that would be light, that would be everything that you understand, that would be heat, that would be emotion, everything that you understand and can use daily, naturally. That's God right there. Take a step back in your mind and think about what you didn't know before and how you came to know it now. You don't think about it, right? But back then it was pretty much all darkness to you until you came to the point where you can manipulate it however you wish to create something that either illuminates your life or evidences to you. It shows you what else you didn't know. Like you can become so powerful with your knowledge and what you know to create something that you are unaware of. That's how magnificent the ability to create comes, the ability to acknowledge knowledge, the ability to manipulate information is. But within all of that manipulation, what you really start to look at is the fact that, wait a minute, if you magnify the scale of your ability to understand light as it is, you are the very light that you're thinking about and talking about and wondering about and imagining every single day. It's you. Whenever you come to know a thing, or a thing is expressed to you and you come to the full knowledge of it, that was you in that moment wanting to know the full thing right in that point in time. You wanted to know. So, in a short bit, at least in these 11 minutes, this is what I offer you today in this vlog for the relationship theory. God is light beyond darkness. God is that which you know beyond what you do not know, but you completely understand and trust in full, without hesitation, without precipitation, without considering what it is that you may not know, because you've already been there and you already know it. This doesn't mean to pretend that you don't know something. If you don't know something, that in itself is illumination. Being able to not know, and this is a weird, tricky thing for a lot of people. For some reason, admitting that they don't know something is a struggle for them. They keep trying to know something that they do not know. Like, they don't let it come out their mouth. It's very odd. But there's so much that can be solved if you start from the place of, I don't know, and just leave it there. You get answers after that, but people don't do that. If you're one of the people who do that, congratulations, pat yourself on the back. You're wiser than most. I don't know why. Don't ask me why people don't do that. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if God is the light beyond darkness, and I have the ability to manipulate light beyond darkness, then that makes me God. That's my logic. That's the logic I offer to you guys today. Really hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you don't understand it, by all means, rewatch this. Listen to it again. I wouldn't say do any research. I couldn't tell you where to go. But that's this episode of The Relationship Theory, everyone. Enjoy your day.